Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Royal Dark Knights Haven. So today I'm gonna talk to you about how to handle C-section on the second raid boss of Iron Horse. And before we get into the video, I hope everyone is doing well during this current pandemic and you're keeping safe. So let's get started. As soon as we are done with that section on back, we rush through this part and just drop roll over here to avoid that small cinematic of viewing the train. And once we are through here, we'll get to the second boss. So for this part, I would say it's preferable to have two tanks, one healer, and the rest on DPS. So the two tanks each stay one on A and one on the C side, going in and out, and one guy stays in all the time for the most part. The healer stays in the control room and handles the panel and the screens. Two DPS guys on either side of the door to protect the control room on the top from the heavy and the purple ad that come out and try to break these levers and try to shut the power down. So two guys on either sides to protect that from happening. The healer stays inside because that's the easiest way he could keep himself alive, because he's not doing any damage for the most part. But it would be preferred if he's running a 4-piece future initiative healer build. That way he can pass on weapon damage to everyone in the raid. So with that bonus like that, it's huge. I mean, it might not seem huge on the thing, but it's really huge. And the reason I'm saying that is because my Eagle Bearer, that's currently doing 126,000 per bullet, goes up and beyond to 157,000. So that's a big leap. So if someone's running that kind of a healer build on the top, that would be preferred. So one guy on A, one guy on B, and one guy on C. So as most of you know, C is a bit of a problem because of too many ads rushing in, and the doors from where the ads come out is also tricky, because one of the C monitors is in this small room over here while the other one is over there, and there is no cover over here saying like if you just try and get yourself cover over here, you might be in the center and try to get to both the monitors to check, but that's a suicide because there's a door in the back, so you can't stay anywhere here. And if you stay inside this room, the only ads that you're gonna able to tackle are these ones, but the box connected to this monitor is still there, so you can't stay in this room. It's a suicide in a way to the mission. So the best position to stay would be over here, the small box that you see. You can easily shoot down those NPCs that come out from there, and the NPCs that come out from here, and some of the NPCs try and drop down over there. So that's a bit of an easy way to do it. And the build that I run is the same build that I used for the first boss. The only change is instead of a striker drone, I'm running assault turret, and that's the only difference from my whole build. But I'll still let you have a look at it. I'm running a Baker's Dozen as my secondary mostly, though it's not my I could equip it as my primary. Okay, yeah. So my secondary is a Baker's Dozen with the because of the perfect lucky shot. That's the weapon or the ammo that I miss the shots from come back to me, and that's 100% chance of it. So it's a good weapon to have as a secondary if you're being overwhelmed or you're out of ammo. In some situations that happens. And my main primary is my Eagle Bearer. As you know, Eagle Bearer is one of the top assault rifles in the game. You might be saying that why not use a FAMAS or a F2000, but I would still preferably use the Eagle Bearer. Now, my mask is Providence. So I'm running a three-piece Providence. That's for my mask, my backpack, and my gloves. And my backpack, I'm running a Vigilance on it. It's like a default talent for most cases on DPS, anyways. And that's how my gloves look. While my chest piece, I'm running with Spark because I don't want to be staggered because of using something like perfect glass cannon or glass cannon, because in the raids and most situations where you are trying to be more soloish or try to push, or being in situations where you're going to be overwhelmed, it's not a very good talent to have, because as you know, though it ends up giving you like 25 or 30% damage depending on the type of skill that you're using, either normal glass cannon or the perfect glass cannon. But the drawback is of the damage that you receive from it. It's twice the damage that percentage that you receive in, and that's not at all acceptable in a few cases, depending on the position of the gameplay that you're in. If you're doing like the doors on the top, or if you're doing something like a B, you're pretty fine to run glass cannon, as long as you're good with anticipating your enemy's movements and also not having your back completely exposed. So that's there. And other thing would be Overwatch, but since I have to run to the monitors everywhere around, so I will be coming out of cover more often than not. That's why I'm not running Overwatch, so the Spark is my only other choice for my weapon damage that there is. So I'm running Spark on it, and my holster is a Fenris, though could do a bit more better on it, but it's not too off. It's only like 1% and a 3 that I'm just missing on top of it, so it's not that bad as it seems on the whole look. Uh, and as for my knee pads, it's the universal knee pads that usually everyone uses, and that's the Fox Sprayers knee pads for damage to targets out of cover. So that's on default how my build looks. I'm running gunner specialization for the uh, armor on kills, and also for my ammo restock, because I'll be burning through my ammo pretty quick during these phases, doing most of the things. So that's the only thing that I would say is better for me. And Spark keeps always proccing because of my assault turret that there is, and everyone knows why we run the Reviver Hive in the game. So that's the default build that I run with for my most DPS parts, and that's the first and the second boss that I do. So I place my turret over on here. That way the ads that come out from there are being suppressed, and also before they come out of the door, they spawn behind the door, and when they spawn behind the door before coming out, the turret recognizes that there is someone behind the door. That kind of gives you like a couple of seconds before they come out of the door, so you have a couple of seconds on your hand to adjust your position and to attack depending on your comfort, or try and avoid having a fight over on close quarters, maybe because you have NPCs already on the back. So that way you can easily manipulate yourself. That turret gives you that a small luxury of seconds of time, and it also attacks the enemies over here, so that's a very good place to put your turret through and suppress the enemies and play with it. I always check this monitor mostly. The other monitor on the corner I don't usually check, because I depend on the calls from A and B. What happens is, if I try and run from that side of the corner to this side to have a look at my box, during that time what's going to happen is, more often than not, the enemies are going to spawn from either there or there. By the time I look behind, I will be having like 3 to 4 NPCs out and about to shoot me down, so that I will be in a bit of a bad position to shoot from, because I don't have much cover, as you can see. That means I'll have to just jump in and try and save myself and shoot from the cover inside, and that's a bit of time consuming act, and also the fact that you gotta be quick on your boxes. So that's why I just stay back over there in this on the box inside there, and always have a look over here. And if the guy's on A or B, just tell me no, there's not, or the symbol that they're looking for is not there, it's not on their side. That means I know that it's on C and it's on the first one. So it means I just need to shoot this box over here, and I'm pretty quick with that. And since my team's callouts are pretty good, I can rely on them because they're all experienced now. We have nearly 27 clears altogether. So yes, so that way we keep everything in check, we go through it. And when it comes to waters, what happens is, as soon as we come into the mission, everyone goes to their water pumps, has a look onto their valves, and just informs to the guy, the healer that's in the control room, because he's the one who calls the shots. So I just shout saying, there's a 25 and a 15 on C. If there's a 24 or 15, or if there are two 25s, I'm like, there are two 25s on C. So that way he knows what to call for. So then he'll say, why just press 2 on C, 2 on B, and do 1 on A, or he might call for another combination. So what happens is we know, like we already know what to press when the time comes for waters. So what the guy in the center say, or the guy the control room tells us, is get ready for waters. Once all the stages with the crucible are done, he calls for waters, and as soon as he does that, we just go press our waters and wait around here, or just fall back a little and do the DPS if necessary. If there are no ads, and it's all and good. And as soon as you hear the tanks inside saying yes, we have the water, and they're just doing it, you all run from C or A to B. You get into the door over here. Once that's solid and solidified, as you can see over there, then you can start doing the DPS on the boss. Once the DPS is done, then you can either kill yourself with a grenade after the DPS is done and the boss is on the floor. What it does is, then you need not take care of the NPCs. You can just directly go to the next room. You will respawn in the next room. That's what we usually do for speed runs. It's much more quicker. But if you are looking after your loot and everything else, that means you just have to come out, kill the ads that are there, then go inside, have a look of your loot. Because if you don't clear the area before you come and have a look for the loot, then what you're going to face is a high temperature room. So that means your armor is going to get depleted as it's going on. So it's more preferable to just deal with all of that, have a look of your loot and everything, then have a round show to just come into this room and wait over here, because this is where you gotta do the rounds for your key, the second and third key that happens. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you all had fun. Please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.